What's going on, everybody? Brian here from Brian's Broadcast. I hope all of you are doing fantastic. This is another fragrance from the indie house of Untamed Perfumes, and this time I'm going to review the fragrance called My Greek Lover. Now, first off, let me just tell you something. I was really confused about this particular fragrance because I was torn between My Greek Lover and there was this another fragrance, and the main reason was because once I was looking into the notes, it kind of seemed a bit too feminine. But then again, I started watching other reviews just to get a hint of like what the ladies or the gentlemen who are reviewing what they're saying. I came across TLTG's review, Ross the Boss Man's channel, and that's when I realized it's not one that's more on the feminine side. Of course, it leans a bit towards the feminine side, but trust me, this is not all too feminine after all. Let me first show you the wonderful box. It's nothing special, it's very simple. It's recyclable material, but this is what the box looks like. It's pretty small, and that's about it. It's very simple, so less stress on the environment. Kudos for that. The bottle is what catches my attention. If you know me personally, I love fragrances that come in beautiful bottles or vials. Now, this is a wonderful bottle. Very simple, thick glass, square shape, rectangular shape with, like rounded edges. I just love this. The cap is wooden, which is an extra special touch. It's very light, but remember, this is wood. This is not plastic, so that's a great plus, I must say. So this particular fragrance, I was looking into it, and then there was this coffee-based fragrance. I think the name was Mevlana. So I was torn between My Greek Lover and Mevlana. And right now, I'm going to read out the notes from their beautiful postcard or fragrance card, information card, whatever you call it. There's a story behind. If you want to pause and check it out, do so. But let me read out the wonderful notes first. So on the top, you have lemon, bitter orange, herbs and spices, green grape. On the mids, you have quince, fig, jasmine, orange blossom, and honey. On the base, you have cypress, pine, cedar, mastic, musks, and civet. Now, let me tell you something. When I was doing my initial impression, so I did not spray on skin. I was going on paper. Now, on paper, this fragrances smelled a hell lot of different. So I tested Sally C, and then I tested My Greek Lover, but like when it hits the skin, it's very, very different. My Greek Lover opens with this beautiful, very extremely playful citrus and floral opening. Now, personally, I'm not all in for super floral fragrances, particularly that leans a bit towards the feminine side. This one, in my honest opinion, does not go into completely or more dominantly into the feminine zone. So it's more on the unisex, like maybe a tad bit of, like a graduation or two towards the feminine side. And that's acceptable by my nose. I mean, I'm totally okay with this. The fruits over here, it's like so delicious, so playful. It's a very playful, like smooth citrus and fruity opening with those florals coming in, popping left and right. And the best part with this grape, there's a sweetness to it. There's this juicy part, and there's for something that's working in the background, like there's some kind of a dryness too. So that was like mind-boggling to me, like something that smells very juicy, succulent, sweet, and at the same time, it's a bit dry somewhere in the background. Now, drying down this fragrance, as you can see, there's a presence of quince, which is again a very juicy fruit, and there's a presence of fig that kind of adds to that smoothness. Now, the fig over here, it's not that spicy kind of fig, it's more on the fruity, sweet, nice, floral kind of fig. That's what I felt personally. And then you have jasmine and orange blossom. So over here, the orange blossom is not too pronounced, like it's not something that's gonna be bothersome. And the jasmine over here, it's more on the floral end. If you know, jasmine can come off sometimes as like narcotic, like addictive, bit dirty, animalic, and there's this floral jasmine, which is very soothing. So I must say the floral counterparts over here are very toned down. It's working as a supporting note. It's present, but it's not too dominant, which I personally prefer in my fragrances. Like that's just the right amount of jasmine and orange blossom. The honey adds to a kind of like a consistency, and there's a bit of sweetness to it, but honey as a note is working as a supporting note 100% because you don't get the pronounced honey from this scent. Now further drying down, you see there's the presence of cypress, pine, and cedar. Now these work in conjunction with each other, so they're adding to that like a herbaceous green, kind of like woody, a bit dark towards the dry down. But the main player over here are three things. Number one is your mastic, which is a Greek tree resin. I believe this thing, mastic, it comes only from Greece, and the presence of mustic is that mustic has that herbaceous green feel and at the same time has that floral fruity and a hay like feeling. I believe that dryness that I was getting in the opening, this is where the mustic was probably like, it was like playing around. But let me tell you one thing, the presence of civet is what makes this fragrance even more appealing and more like very, very seductive. The reason being, civet by itself is a very animalic thing. Like, not everybody's skin chemistry is gonna do well with this, but let me tell you something. Civet over here is very toned down. I mean, you just get it. You just get a hint of it, but it's never like too pronounced. So it's not one of that super animalic kind of civet. It adds to that appeal. It just makes those fruity, juicy notes and the floral notes just combine so beautifully. Don't trust me, man. Trust your skin. Like, go ahead and order a sample or a decant of this from their website. It's in the link in the description below. Trust me on this, like, guys, this fragrance is definitely 100% a summer banger. Like, in the summertime, this thing is gonna be very, very beautifully performing. This fragrance opens up very nicely. It opens in layers. I mean, the fruitiness, the florals, it's extremely playful, very, very alluring, I must say. Leaves a wonderful scent trail, and unlike the Salish Sea, which is like a bit more on the calm and quieter side, my Greek lover is a bit more on the louder end. Now, my Greek lover projects very loudly for the first hour, hour and a half. Like around 2 hours mark, this is where the fragrance comes a bit closer. It's like within an arm's length. That's why, like, and because it's an extrait, sticks to your skin. The more your body heats up, it just opens more. It just projects more. That's the beauty. It leaves a wonderful scent trail, and I have not come across one single person who even did like that. Like, seriously, no, nobody does that. This is a beautiful fragrance. The musk over here is a clean, like a very plain and clean musk. So this musky, civet, and fruity combination with this floral facets just works wonders. Now it has that kind of like a woody and like a kind of like a dark vibe to it, but that's towards the dry down. And again, the performance on this is hands down beautiful. Like, I was not expecting, this is more of like a fresh fragrance. I was not expecting like 10 to 12 plus hours. So even within like the 10-12 hours mark, this fragrance is almost dried down, but at the same time it's still wafting very strong. Let me remind you, these are extraits, so they have a higher oil concentration, and because I felt confidently, I can say that Untamed Perfumes do use like very good quality oils and ingredients. That's why the smell, everything, it just lasted. It felt very smooth. Never have I, never have I ever felt that it felt sharp. Like, absolutely no sharp edges. It's so smooth. The transitions, the way this fragrance opens, it's just hands down a beautiful fragrance. Very unique. You will stand out in the crowd. trust me on this one. Get a decant, try it for yourself. And like the customer service was phenomenal, and I've got two, and they sent me another one which is called Running with the Wolves. I will be reviewing that very soon. That was sent to me for free as a gift, but these two I purchased with my own money. So again, not sponsored. So honest reviews right here. Support my channel, guys. Do subscribe and hit the thumbs up button if you like contents. But to be very fair, my Greek lover, it's definitely not on the feminine side. It's more unisex leaning, and at times I did feel like it's more masculine suited because of how the animalic vibe with the fruitiness, it just works in a mysterious way. I kind of like felt it's a bit more on the masculine side. Again, that's my 2 cents. So guys, that was my humble and honest opinion about Untamed Perfumes, my Greek lover. Beautiful fragrance, great longevity, must try. I know the prices might be kind of like a bit on the higher end for some people, but they do offer 10 ml decants, I think. So, just get in touch with them, let them know your requirement, and they should be able to fill it up for you. And again, my Greek lover, I would say, if you ask me, hey Brian, would you buy a backup bottle? This is backup bottle worthy. Great stuff. Like, even in the cooler days here in New York City, this thing is performing. I wonder what this is gonna do in the summertime. This thing's gonna be very loud. So guys, my humble and honest take on Untamed Perfumes, my Greek lover. Let me know in the comments section below. Have you ever tried something from this house? What are your opinions? What was your experience? What should I try next? So until the next one, guys, please take care, stay safe, and all the best.